first command, that is the go-to for it. Where I think it was Peter, right?
Yeah.
Who had the dream.
Yeah.
And the Lord show he all his beasts and stuff, right?
Right.
And tell he will kill and eat. And he say, well, we don't eat any common or unclean.
Right, going back to the law, go ahead.
Exactly.
Right.
And then Jesus tell you anything I give to you, it's unclean.
Right.
But it will even go deeper than that, because when I continue reading that scripture, I understand that had a practice in Jew at that time, that any boy outside a Jew could not visit them. Understand? So I tell myself that was a vision.
Correct.
To showcase that, well, this man can visit you at such and such a time.
Cornelius.
Exactly. And you shouldn't reject him because he's not unclean.
Right, exactly. He's not talking about little fools. Remember when the sea vision that God used it in
exactly.
their time.
So I get that from that, but what make me change my mind is we gotta go back to Genesis now.
Correct.
Right after
back to the law. Correct.
This is before the law. In fact,
no. The law was oral in the beginning.
Exactly. No.
The law was oral. On the king, and you know what to bring to the Lord.
That way they try.
It was
no stress here. So
right.
I won't even say it. It was oral. I think it was like what we call conscience. It was built in our conscience.
But that's part of oral. Yeah, yes, but we gotta be conscious. We gotta let into something, brother.
Exactly.
Which is the more side. So it was there in the beginning, where it was oral. But I can use the word conscious because law was right there. Giving it orally. That's how Cain and Abel. That how Abel knew what to bring, and Cain refused to bring the right thing. And that way he went off. That way the Lord said, if you bring the right thing, will you not be accepted? But if you don't bring the right thing, sin left at the door. So they knew what to do. And like brother, they say, they get naked. Oh, Adam, you get naked. But actually naked, the ball showing, my ball showing. Nah, they went off. But they knew what to do or what not to do. Let's see,
right, but what I was going back to, right?
Right, go ahead.
Is that, like you said earlier, the concept of unclean meat was even in that time.
Of course.
Right, but then when that happened, and Noah sacrifice all the clean meat to honor God, the Lord actually made a covenant at this time, that Genesis 9, which is saying that every living thing on earth and every crawling thing is for man to eat.
For man to eat?
Exactly. Genesis 9.
No. To eat.
Yeah.
To use, but not to eat. But you can use. Yeah, you can use. You got different animals for different purposes, but not everything is meant to be consumed with human flesh. But that's why. That's why when you, if you eat,
to use.
Yeah, if you.
Yeah, shalom. Just make sure they see it working properly first. Right? See it working properly first. Yeah, alright, good. Alright, so you just heard that discourse. First and foremost, Salakia. God halal Yahweh, Bahasham, Yahweh Shai, Bahasham, Wakhaha Kodash. And double honor to my teachers, the apostles, the elders, and the bishops of Great Millstone, who watch over our souls. Shalom to the Yakim, who waited are sincere and serious doing the will of Yahweh, Bahasham, Yahweh Shai, Bahasham, Wakhaha Kodash. 2 Peter chapter 1, verse 1 and 2. To you all, stay strong and stay mighty. Yes, so yeah, I'm the brother, the disciple Koshab Banyamia from the branch here in Great Millstone, Barbados. So that was a discourse you heard between myself and a J that come up. He got dreadlocks, but Christianity still has a hold on him. Now, if you heard him, he said he had a change of mind in regards to eating unclean meats, right? Because he went back to Genesis 9:3. So clearly he was eating according to how the Rastas eat. I just speculating because he got long dreadlocks. But you know some men that got dreadlocks, because we supposed to got dreadlocks, you're supposed to be eating clean, as I say, you know. Be eating flesh, you know what I mean? Eating beer, herbs, and you know, wholesome food, etc. You know what I mean? So he said he had a change of heart. He went back to Genesis 9. Let me get it. Genesis 9. I can start at 1. And the power blessed Noah and his sons, and said unto them, be fruitful and multiply, and replenish the earth. And the fear of you and the dread of you shall be upon every beast of the earth, and upon every fowl of the air, upon all that moveth upon the earth, and upon all the fishes of the sea. Into your hand are they delivered. Every moving thing that liveth shall be meat for you, even as the green herb have I given you all things. Right, so I can start there. So this is what they're talking about. Some Christians that they use this to say you can eat everything. Genesis 9 verse 3, every moving thing that liveth shall be meat for you. You gotta understand what's happening here. What's happening here is before the flood, our diet consisted of vegetables, nuts, and grains. Genesis 1:29 verse 30, right? But as you should know, water destroys. For instance, right now over here, the heat is destroying the chickens. But then when you had a surplus of rain, a lot of potatoes and ground provisions was being damaged and destroyed, right? So could you imagine back then with that flood, it destroyed a lot of the crops, a lot of the vegetation, the trees, etc. that give food, right, for us. So what happened now is the Lord said, alright, no problem. That way he told Noah, Genesis 7, I think it is, take the animals into the ark. There was even a distinction. Let me read it properly. Genesis 7. Let me see if it's Genesis 7. Right, Genesis 7:1. And the Lord said unto Noah, come thou and all thy house into the ark, for thee have I seen righteous before me in this generation. How is that? How can Noah be righteous? It shows that Noah was following the tradition of his forefathers, you know what I mean, of that same line, right? Which was keeping the commandments from Adam all the way down. You know what I mean? Adam knew what to bring as a sacrifice because the laws were oral, you know what I mean? This one I got that word righteous there a minute. Because in Deuteronomy 6:25 it says, and this should be our righteousness if we observe. So like a minute, man. Let me get it. Deuteronomy 6 verse 25. And it shall be our righteousness if we observe to do all these commandments before the Lord our power, as he have commanded us, right? So that's how we become quote unquote righteous, right? Trying the best of our ability to keep these commandments, which is the book of life, you know what I mean? So you were righteous.
Strong's H 6662. Sadiq.
Yeah. Tazadak. Tazadak. Right? You see us here. A lawful. You see? Just lawful. So Noah was adhering to the laws. Right? A righteous man. I just read Deuteronomy 6 verse 25, right? Just, lawful, righteous. Righteous as justified and vindicated by the Most High. Right? Just, righteous in conduct and character. Right? Keeping promises in all his ways. Right? Just, righteous in conduct and character towards the Most High. See? How did the Lord say in Genesis? We go back to Genesis 6. He said that man has corrupted his way. If the laws wasn't there in the beginning, how could the Lord say that man has corrupted his way? So they're gone astray from the ways of the Most High. Right? So let me go now to lawful, you see? Lawful. Right? So let me go back now to what I had there earlier. Genesis 9 verse 3 again. But let me go to the commentary here a minute. Let me go to the commentary here. I go to Matthew Henry. By getting to the commentary on Leviticus 11, you see him, Matthew Henry here, right? And then I go, before I get that, let me go to the Bible Hub here now. Right? Right, so let me jump here now to, in fact, let me want to see it for myself. I don't want to say that he making it anything, right? Okay, good. So we go here. All right. So Genesis 9:3. Every moving thing which is wholesome and fit for food, because even in vegetation there are some plants that are poisonous, that if we eat, it can be harmful to the body. You understand? So going here, every moving thing which is wholesome and fit for food, to be consumed by the human body, wholesome, right? Wholesome, conducive to or suggestive of good health and physical well-being, right? Physical well-being, right? Beneficial, sustaining, strengthening, helpful, healthy, right? Okay, good. So we go back up here in a minute. So lock in my weapon there, brother. All right, so again back here. Every moving thing which is wholesome and fit for food shall be meat for you that liveth. This may be added to exclude the use of those creatures which died of themselves or were killed by wild beasts. Right, so even if you see a lawful food, a deer or venison, it died of itself, you still can't eat that, because if the Lord is very strict in how you worship him. You understand? So even if a lawful creature died of itself and you hungry skunk, you still cannot eat that. You understand? The Lord is very particular. Right? So let me go down here. Right? Or were killed by wild beasts. these which were afterward expressly forbidden to be eaten, right, may here be forbidden implicitly. Hitherto man have been confined to feed only upon the products of the earth. Remember, the man here talking about is Noah, because the Lord only saved Noah and his family, his sons and their wives, right? And if you see here, these were here afterward expressly forbidden to be eaten, may here be forbidden implicitly. Hitherto man have been confined to feed only upon the products of the earth, fruits, herbs, and roots, and all sorts of corn and milk. Such was the first grant, but the flood, having perhaps washed away much of the virtue of the earth, and so rendered its fruits, rendered its fruits less pleasing, not less pleasing, it wasn't there, and less nourishing. It wasn't less nourishing, or it wasn't less pleasing. It wasn't available because, like I said, the flood destroyed a lot of the vegetation, or basically all the vegetation, big man. So how would Noah, if he in the ark, get to eat fruits? How could it be pleasing to him if he was in the ark? Again, that's why he took the animals, 7 clean and 2 unclean. There was a reason for that, right? So let me go down here a little bit. God now enlarged the ground and allowed man to eat flesh, which perhaps man himself never thought of till now. The 7 priests of Noah. So like, let's go back to the law basically, right? So like, what happened there? Forgive me for that. Right, so we go back here. Let me use my other hand here. Right, so let me jump down here. It says here, the first was against the worship of idols. The second, right, this is getting to the 7 laws, etc., right? Let me jump down here. It says here, the Jews required the observation of these from the proselytes of the gate, meaning the elders, because the word proselyte go back to the the elders of the gate, meaning the leaders, the law. You see? But the precepts here given all concern the life of man. Man must not prejudice his own life by eating that food which is unwholesome and prejudicial to his health. And that word prejudicial means hurtful or harmful to his health. You see? And we should all know that there are meats that are highly acidic, right? Crabs, shrimps, lobster, sea cat, but let me deal with the ones of the earth as well, right? When you go to Leviticus 11, right? Spiders, snakes, you know what I mean? Cockroaches, these are scavengers of the earth, yeah, and they make your body more cancerous, right? And the foods today are really foods that will be accepted by this modern world. I would like to find back that commentary, right? So like a minute, I won't find it back. Okay, let's look at here. Right, so there's it here, gills now, right? But let me jump in the interest of time, you know what I mean? Every moving thing that liveth shall be meat for you. That is, every beast, fowl, and fish, without exception. For though there was a difference at this time of clean and unclean, so it showed the law was already there, right? creatures with respect to sacrifice, yet not with respect to food. Without like every creature of God was good, and is now as it is now, and it was left to man's reason and judgment what to make use of, as would be most conducive to his health and agreeable to his taste. And though there was distinction afterward made under the Levitical dispensation among the Jews, who were forbid the use of some creatures, yet they themselves say that all unclean beasts will be clean in the world to come. You see, all unclean beasts will be clean in the world to come. Why? Because it's going to be pushed, and then it's going to be widely accepted, right? But the Lord says, seek the old paths, raise the good way. In the times of the Messiah, as they were to the sons of Noah. You see, I refer to this text in proof of it. You see? You see that? So this is what is being pushed. That all, let me get it back. That all unclean beasts will be clean in the world to come, which is this current world here. Saying that all unclean beasts will be clean in this world to come. So let me go back up here and we go to Genesis, Matthew Henry, and commentary on Leviticus 11. Right? The ceremonial law is described by the apostle to consist not only in gifts and sacrifices, which hitherto have been treated of in this book, but in meats and drinks and diverse washings from ceremonial uncleanness. The laws concerning which begin with this chapter, which puts a difference between some sorts of fish, meat, and others, allowing some to be eaten as clean and forbidding others as unclean. There is one kind of flesh of men, blah, blah, blah. Salakia. Now that Aaron was consecrated a high priest over the house of the Mosai, the Mosai spoke to him with Moses and appointed them both as joint commissioners to deliver his will to the people. He spoke both to Moses and to Aaron about this matter, for it was particularly required of the priests that they should put a difference between clean and unclean, and teach the people to do so. After the flood, when the Mosai entered into covenant with Noah and his sons, he allowed them to eat flesh, whereas before they were confined to the productions of the earth. But the liberty allowed to the sons of Noah is here limited to the sons of Israel. They might eat flesh, but not all kinds of flesh. But Noah didn't even go against the laws neither. So they say it was liberty for Noah to do it, but he didn't do it because 7 clean animals went in and 2 unclean animals went in of each species. What was the reason for that? Because if he ate the unclean animals, the species would have died off, because it was male and female, remember? Right? They might eat flesh, but not all kinds of flesh. Some they must look upon as unclean and forbidden to them, others as clean and allow them. The law in this matter is both very particular, see, and very strict. You see? The law in this matter is both very particular and very strict. But what reason can be given for this law? Why may not God's people have as free a use of all the creatures as other people? And there's one in the Apocrypha, boy. We're supposed to be the standard. And what one nation is there so great unto you, O Israel? We're supposed to be the standard. You see? It is a reason enough that God would have it so. His will as is law sufficient. So it is reason sufficient, for his will is his wisdom. He saw good thus to try and exercise the obedience of his people, not only in the solemnities of his altar, but in matters of daily occurrence at their own table, that they might remember they were under authority. Thus the Most High had tried the obedience of man, meaning Noah, in innocency, by forbidding him to eat of one particular tree. Most of the meats forbidden as unclean are such as were really unwholesome. I showed you the definition of that just now. Are not fit to be eaten, and those of them that we think wholesome enough and used accordingly, as the rabbit, the hare, and the swine, perhaps in those countries and to their bodies, might be hurtful. You see? So you got to understand why, but you got to put your mind there. You know what I mean? It was a flood. The Lord opened the ark and tell Noah, "Here what's going on, big man. You see the herbs they give you that you could eat? We ain't got access to them now. So look, you see the animals you got in here? You got access to them, right? But only the ones that I deem you lawful, right? It says the Lord is for the body and not only folly, but sin against God, to prejudice our health for the pleasure of our appetite." You see that? Let me read that again. I will show you the word prejudice, harmful to our health. You see? The Lord is this one eating every damn thing, big man, to harm you, right? The Most High will thus teach his people to distinguish themselves from other people, not only in their religious worship, but in the common actions of life. Thus he will show them that they must not be numbered among the nations. It shall seem there have been before this some difference between the Hebrews and other nations in their food, kept up by tradition, for the Egyptians and they will not eat together. Genesis 43 verse 32. And they set on for him by himself, and for them by themselves, and for the Egyptians which did eat with him by themselves, because the Egyptians might not eat bread with the Hebrews, for that is an abomination unto the Egyptians. See? And even before the flood, there was a distinction of beasts into clean and not clean. See? So the law was always there. So no one knew to keep the law. Right? When he came out, the ark, Genesis 7:2, of every clean beast thou shalt take to thee by sevens, the male and his female, and of beasts that are not clean by two, the male and his female. Right, so of seven, so Noah could sustain his family on the ark. Remember, it's a variety of beasts that were clean that was on the ark, a variety of beasts that were unclean that was in the ark as well. But if you had to eat the unclean beast, that species would be wiped out. So if you eat a pig today, left the male there, you eat a turtle tomorrow, left the male there, etc., that species would die because they couldn't multiply. But with the sevens, they could still multiply. You see, they could still multiply. You know what I mean? It's right. Which distinction was quite lost with many other instances of religion among the Gentiles, but by this law it is reduced to a certainty in order to be kept up among the Jews, that thus, by having a diet peculiar to themselves, they might be kept from familiar conversations, meaning conduct with their idolatrous neighbors, and might typify the Most High spiritual Israel, who not in these little things, but in the temper of their spirits and the course of their lives should be governed by a sober singularity, and not be conformed to this world. The law observance further. The most of the creatures which by this law were to be abominated as unclean were such as were had in high veneration among the heathen. that most of the creatures which by this law were to be abominated as unclean were such as were had in high veneration among the heathen, not so much for food as for divination and sacrifice to their gods, and therefore those are here mentioned as unclean and an abomination, which yet they will not be in any temptation to eat, that they might keep up a religious loathing of that for which the Gentiles had a superstitious value. The swine with the latter Gentiles was sacred to Venus. So you actually worshiping another god when you take part in these idolatrous meats, big man. The swine with the latter Gentiles was sacred to Venus, the owl to Minerva, the eagle to Jupiter, the dog to Hecate, if I'm saying that correctly, etc. And all these are here made unclean. So it's no way, because I read to you earlier, Noah was found righteous before the Mosai, right? So it's no way he took part in unclean food, because he will be breaking the commandment, thou shalt have no other gods before me. So it's no way he could be taking part in unclean meats. You see? And all these are here made unclean. As to the beast, there is a general rule laid down, that those which both part the hoof and chew the cud were clean, and those only. These are particularly mentioned in the repetition of the law, Deuteronomy 14 verse 4. These are the beasts which ye shall eat: the ox, the sheep, and the goat, the hart, and the roebuck, and the fallow deer, and the wild goat, and the pygarg, and the wild ox, and the chamois. Right, so it just gave you just a small list right here. I could go into more of the beasts that you can eat. It appears that the Israelites had variety enough, allowed them, and needed not to complain of the confinement they were under. Those beasts that did not both chew the cud and divide the hoof were unclean, by which rule the flesh of swine and of hares and of rabbits was prohibited to them, though commonly used among us. Therefore, particularly at the eating of any of these, we should give thanks to the liberty granted us in this matter by the gospel, which teaches us that every creature of God is good, and we are to call nothing common or unclean. You see, this mix up things sometimes, right? But you get the point. When you eat these unclean foods, you're really worshiping another god. The swine to Venus, the owl to Minerva, the eagle to Jupiter, the dog to Hecate, etc. You see? Yeah, boy. So let me get a preset here and then close. I don't want this to be too long. This is Baruch, chapter 4 and verse 1. This is the book of the commandments of the Mosai and the law that endureth forever. All they that keep it shall come to life, but such as leave it shall die. See? So this law is forever. It was from the beginning. So no one knew how to keep himself righteous. He didn't worship other gods, right? Genesis 26 and verse 5. Because that Abraham obeyed my voice and kept my charge, my commandments, my statutes, and my laws. See? So the line, the line from the sons of God all the way down to us right now, kept the faith. Let me put it like that. Kept the faith, big man. Right? Baruch 4:2, turn thee, O Jacob, and take hold of it, walk in the presence of the light thereof, that thou mayest be illuminated. Give not thy honor to another. And I just showed you, if you eat these unclean foods, you're giving you honor to another, big man. You said you're giving you honor to another, right? We lost it, man. Right? But the swine to Venus, the dog to Hecate, the owl to Minerva, etc. Be you say you really worship another god, big man. Give not thy honor to another, nor the things that are profitable unto thee to a strange nation. You see? So that's what we did. We went off, but we coming back to the righteous ways of the Lord Yahweh Bahashem Yahweh Shai. So we get a preset here. That's what and there's an end time prophecy here too, right? Now what the so I'm telling you at all. Look, Skipper. Fucking on yeah. Yeah, so lucky about that, man. This boy, but I download this, do this kind. Isaiah 66 is the end time prophecy here, right? Isaiah 66. Just make sure it's still working, right? God, this here just think for me just now. Isaiah 66. Yeah, kind of. Isaiah 66 verse 15. For behold, the Lord will come with fire, and with his chariots like a whirlwind, to render his anger with fury, and his rebuke with flames of fire. For by fire and by his sword will the Lord plead with all flesh, and the slain of the Lord shall be many. They that sanctify themselves and purify themselves in the gardens behind one tree in the midst, eating swine's flesh, and the abomination and the mouse shall be consumed together, saith the Lord Yahweh Bahashem Yahweh Shai. So when I clean them, when I trying to clean, when I clean them on themselves, but when they let the Lord clean one. In other words, when I want to do what was that Romans 10? You're going about to establish your own righteousness. This is Romans 10. Romans chapter Salaki a minute, man. Romans 10 and 3. For they being ignorant of the Most High's righteousness, and going about to establish their own righteousness, have not submitted themselves unto the righteousness of the Most High. You see, and that's what's happening. And Christianity and Christians don't do that. They want to come with their own opinion or what they've been taught by the pastor on the altar, you know, on stage. And the pastor is not coming and saying, "Thus save the Lord." You know what I mean? The Lord ain't sanctify all foods to be clean. Maybe 1 Timothy 4 on down. Right? Pray over your food and be good. You can go eat a lion. First of all, you gotta capture a lion to eat it. And then you eat it. That the lion doesn't chew the cud. Big man. You eat a snake. Those things are highly poisonous to the human body, brother. Right? A snail. You know, we had a white man here eating here years ago in the newspaper eating snails. The protein is very high. That's right. I know a lot of our people here before me here, man. Right? Isaiah 66 verse 70. So when they get me consumed together with the swine wanna sanctify themselves, wanna purify themselves, right? Eating swine's flesh and the abomination. I went through that there in the 40 minutes I was on here. Right? And the mouse shall be consumed together. These are foods that these nations eat. You see? The Lord said we're supposed to be separate and holy from them. And then once we come into that light, we're supposed to teach them. You understand? Shall be consumed together, saith Yahweh Bahashem Yahweh Shai. Right? Isaiah 66 in the NLT. Those who consecrate and purify themselves in the sacred garden with its idol in the center, feasting on pork and rats and other detestable meats. They had rats in the ark. You had pork in the ark, pig in the ark, but it was two unclean animals, 7 clean animals. Remember, when the flood happened, before the flood, the Lord said, look, see them herbs there, see the vegetation? Yeah. I'm going to keep them ones there. You see? The flood happened, it get destroyed, carry the ark, 7 clean animals, 2 unclean animals, all different species. To you, them is for me, but not the unclean ones. You understand? It was always there. Again, Noah was found righteous. And by eating these unclean meats, he will be giving his glory to another God. And he didn't do that. Right? Isaiah 66 verse 17. Those who consecrate and purify themselves in the sacred garden with his idol in the center, feasting on pork. Again, pork, the idol is who? Venus. Owl, the idol is who? Minerva. The dog, the idol is who? Hecate. I wonder what is that Hecate. And rats and other detestable meats will come to a terrible end, saith the Lord. I want to look at that one. Was that idol Hecate though? Because these Chinese and things eat dog and cat and all kind. That can't big man. Secate. Oh, sight. Oh shit, it's a female god. It's a female. So Venus is a female god. Hecate. I can't get our pronounce, but I read the Titonia for me. Hecate is a female. Is a female. So we eat a dog, big man. Oh, go about this female. Fuck wrong with it? Everything gonna be. No, that's it. Yeah, hey, Hecate, a female goddess, big man. You see that? Hecate goddess symbols. You see that? And that is Starbucks woman there too. Yeah, that is Starbucks woman there, boy. Well, boy, see? To what Yahweh Bahashem Yahweh Shai, boy. Wait, go on. Hecate was one of several deities worshipped in ancient Athens as a protector of the Oikos, also alongside Zeus, Hestina, Hermes, and Apollo. Well. Hecate's scope of divine duties was extended in ancient Greek religion. She was most notably the goddess of magic, witchcraft, the night, light, ghosts, necromancy, and the moon. Further, she was the goddess and protector of the Oikos and entranceway. So you eat a dog, big man, you get Hecate. Someone you give your glory to Venus. You eat. I wonder what the owl is. I wonder what she look like. Let me see her, man. Another female girl. Man, what kind of eyes get you say here, tall? Look, So this word is just be a woman worship, boy. It be a female worship, big man. This is the Minerva here, look. You are scared. So Egyptology had Isis take that with the faction name, right? There's Minerva here, look. Well, big man. Minerva, goddess of wisdom, yeah. Well, boy. See that? Minerva is the Roman goddess of wisdom, justice, law, victory, and the sponsor of arts, trade, and strategy. So, this wisdom, but this word is foolishness. Lord have mercy, might call you back, big man. Right? Minerva was the goddess of wisdom, war, art, schools, justice, and commerce. She was the Etruscan counterpart to Greek Athena. So, Lord, so in Greece again, so many gods, man. When I worship many gods in Rome and Greece, like Egyptians, man, they had how much? They had 365. How much gods they had? Might have a god for every fucking day, man. Minerva burst from the head of her father Jupiter. For her father Jupiter, Greek Zeus, who had devoured her mother Metis, is an unsuccessful attempt to prevent her birth. Man, look, man, hey, look, the point is, look, Yahweh Bahashem, Yahweh Shai is the way, the truth, and the light. Let me end with that precept, man. Not this can't say big man. Right? St. John 14 and 6, man. Hey, shot. St. John 14 verse 6, man. Yahweh Shai said unto him, I am the way, the truth. So the truth is who? True Yahweh Bahashem, Yahweh Shai. That is the way, man. Not all these fucking gods here, big man. Not Christianity neither. Yahweh Shai said unto him, I am the way, the truth, and the life. No man cometh unto the Father but by me. Plain. So Allah when they ain't got the Father. Allah when the gods is worthless pieces of shite, man. To put it plain. Allah when the gods are worthless, man. See? So you even pray this video at the fan, you know, it was spark off of last week's camp. Not side of going here to be in front. You know what I mean? You can eat any damn thing. Nah. You gotta understand. The mighty Lord, you know what I mean? 2 by 2 unclean, 7 by 7 clean. Why? Because look, you give me no more vegetation for them to eat. You understand? And there's a distinction in Genesis 7. Was he clean and was he unclean? Is that unclean for what? Unclean for human consumption. Is it different? Is it right there in Genesis 7? Wait a minute, man. Wait a minute, man. Before you shot there. That boy will wait, man. Do we still got it here? Wait a minute, let me see something here. Genesis 7. Before he shot. Genesis 7. Wait a minute. I want to see a color for me neither, bro. Come on, huh? Well, that's so hot, big man. Genesis 7, and 2. Just want to check about saying here. Genesis 7 and 2. Of every clean beast thou shalt take to thee by sevens, the male and his female, and of beasts that are not clean by 2. Right? So like here. That are not clean. Tahar. Yeah.
Strong's H 2889. Tahor.
See?
Tahor.
See? Pure, right? Khan. So ceremonial. You see? That's why the definition here is ceremonial. Right? Fear, pureness. Right? Clean, ceremonially of animals. You see? So these animals that were unclean, it was already established in the beginning that they were animals that were clean and not unclean, big man. Right? Ceremonially clean. Leviticus 20 verse 25. So you see, we gotta put your mind there. Ye shall therefore put difference between clean beasts and unclean, and between, because the Lord can give you the understanding, between unclean fowls and clean. And ye shall not make your souls abominable by beasts or by fowl or by any manner of living thing that creepeth on the ground, which I have separated from you as unclean. See, so no one knew what to do. He knew what to do. See? Yeah, man, so I can move, man. I can shut there. I hope the point has been made, you know what I mean? One was edifying to somebody out there. You know what I mean? Real thing. La right, kind of la not, right? Right, so yeah, that's the point, man. You know, that's the point. You know, you what I'm praying the video was edifying. You know what I mean? Ka halal wa khawad la abanawa Yahweh Bahasham Yahweh Shai Bahasham Makaha Kodash. All praise, honor, glory to the Heavenly Father, Yahweh Bahasham Yahweh Shai, and double honor to my teachers, the apostles, the elders, and the bishops of Great Millstone. Shalom to the Yakin worldwide that are sincere and serious doing the will of Yahweh Bahasham Yahweh Shai Bahasham Makaha Kodash. Shalom.